Everybody, I'm Felisa, and today's vlog is about the angry woman, or more specifically, the angry black woman. And I'd already recorded this video a while ago, but I wanted to redo it in the light of seeing the wonderful gathering of the women across this nation and even across the world in solidarity and in unison to march for the rights of women and the protectiveness of women. And so I just wanted to say to all my sisters who were able to participate in that glorious event, well done. So my disclaimer for this video, because of course I always have one, is that these are my views, these are my observations, and definitely my opinions, and they're not intended to be an end-all be-all, and if it doesn't apply to you, then yeah. So here we go. The reason why I wanted to talk about this is because I've been in a conversation with some people a while ago and talking about the state of the woman, in particular the state of the angry black woman. And of course, you know, if you happen to be African American or if you heard this term and it does not resonate with you, then yeah, I'm right with you. I think that a lot of times African American women get a bad rap and we get vilified and we get marginalized in terms of being viewed as being angry all the time. And I want to kind of bring some differences of perspective and awareness of how, you know, African American women are viewed in this world and what my perspective is being a black girl. Anyway, so women often are robbed of being able to have their emotional state. If they have their emotional state, then it is attributed to their period, or, you know, they're unstable, or they're this or they're that, as opposed to men who can have, you know, fits and outbursts. We see you people in Washington that are not necessarily endearing and not necessarily, you know, the best qualities to have, but, you know, in men, they're accepted because that means that he's a go-getter and he's take charge and he's decisive and all these kinds of things, and, you know, he's not going to take any stuff. And when it comes to women, we're supposed to be the weaker, softer sex, right? And so if we don't display that, then we kind of get lumped into this bucket. And black women in particular are told and known for being very assertive, being domineering almost to a fault, being controlling and manipulative, and of course angry. And I've even heard some people go as far as saying that the reason that black men don't want to date us is because we are so angry. And I want to challenge that narrative. Number one, black men do date and marry black women. It's obvious. I don't think that there is going to be much of an argument for that. And dare I say that if someone is dating outside of their race, or, you know, in an interracial marriage, which I have no problem with, I want to make sure that I'm clear about that. It's a matter of preference. I don't think that there are too many instances where, you know, there's something that is egregious that has happened that has turned you off of an entire population of people and has caused your preference to change. You are wired to like what you like the way that you like it, and that's what you want. And I think that that's fine, and I think that that's acceptable. I happen to like tall men. That does not mean that there's something wrong with shorter men. It just means that that's not my preference, and I think that no one should be vilified for what their preference is. But when you go out of your way to seek a certain type because you think that it will increase your whatever, then I think that that is a problem, because you're not looking for that person because of compatibility or enhancement or anything that will promote the cause of being in love and healthy relationships. You're looking for that person because it's a trophy, and, you know, that's kind of like a prize, and that's a different conversation altogether, and I'd rather not get into that. But anyway, back to the state of the angry woman. So I think that what happens is that black women often are robbed of the ability to have an emotion that is not docile and meek and submissive. And so if you find a woman who is not putting up with no stuff and she's not tolerating it and she's no nonsense, then that often gets confused with anger. I happen to be a very straightforward individual. It does not mean that I'm angry. It just means I'm not putting up with a whole bunch of crap. I just don't have time for it. I'm older. I got a lot of stuff going on, and so when I feel like I'm wasting my time or someone is deliberately trying to mislead me, then yeah, you're not going to get the best side of me. But that's not to say that I operate that way all the time, and I think that it's irresponsible to paint someone with a broad brush and say, oh, you know, you're always angry or you're always argumentative, which brings me to the next point. Just because you challenge someone's position or their thought process, or because you don't necessarily agree, does not mean that you're being argumentative. I mean, you're not really in a relationship with a puppet, are you? If you say something, then you expect to either have agreement or you're going to have opposition, or maybe neutrality. Either way it goes, there's going to be some kind of response, hopefully, that you're looking for from the other person. And it's not that, you have someone who is always challenging you or always going against the grain. Of course not. Nobody wants that. But seriously, if you're in a relationship with an adult, I will hope that if you say something that's crazy, she's going to be like, no, I don't think that we should do that. And balance that. That's the whole point of being in a relationship. And hopefully, if she says something that's crazy, you'll balance her too. The third thing is assertive. A lot of women, not just black women, but a lot of women now find themselves in the workplace for a variety of reasons. And so if you happen to be with someone who is in the workplace and also making decisions and maybe managerial and, really having to go in and assert themselves, and perhaps those emotional inclinations have to be on hold for a period of time, then know that she's very accustomed to making decisions. She's very accustomed to being decisive. She's very accustomed to being in control. And so what she doesn't want to do is run roughshod over you. So it's not that she's being angry or domineering. It's that she knows what she wants and she knows how to get it. Now, ladies, I do have to say, we have to watch our tone when it comes to certain things, because we can't just talk to people like they don't have any sense. And if you're doing that, then maybe you just need to take a step back and look at how your tone is coming across to people and how it may be conveyed, or the spirit in which it is taken may not necessarily be the spirit in which it's given. But having said that, I think that if you have someone who is assertive and very much accustomed to making decisions, why you want her to play and act like she don't know how to make a decision is beyond me. Yeah, after you get a certain age, you just don't have time for things like that. And she wants to be able to relinquish a lot of that control. I said that in one of my videos about the alpha female. When you have a woman who was used to running the world on any given day and can do that, she wants to be able to give that control to someone, but she ain't gonna just do it because it's Tuesday, or you look good, or because you said so. So, a lot of times people think that they're meeting with resistance, and it's not that you're meeting with resistance, it's that, yeah, you don't really seem like you're capable of taking care of this. And I'm not mad about it, I'm just not about to do that. So I want people to hear the difference between all of what I just described and someone being angry. Do women have attitudes sometimes? Yes. Do women have times where they are emotional? Yes. Are there some black women who are angry? Yep. Are there some black women who don't know how to talk to people? Yep. But is that the entire demographic? And here's fundamentally the difference between labeling someone an entire demographic and what our white counterparts are able to experience. White women, when they are upset or whatever, they get to do that in an isolated event. Oh, she must be having a bad day. Oh, she must have her period, which I hate. But that's what people say. And they find reasons and excuses to give to her and passes. Black women, nope. Oh, they're all angry. Oh, they always got an attitude. Oh, black women. It's all one group. And I think that we need to get away from that narrative. What I will say, just as a whole, women have been through a lot in this country, and I'm preaching to the choir. If you're a woman and you're watching this, 10 to 1, you've had some man call you out your name. You've had someone who's gotten upset because you don't want to give them your phone number. You've had to babysit your drinks when you go out to a club because you don't know what somebody's putting in them. Every last woman that I know knows one cardinal rule when you go out. When you go together, you leave together. You go home together. You don't split up for any reason because it's dangerous to do so. You don't allow men to take you away from your group when you're in a club. When you go out on a date and you don't know this person, you leave a phone number and contact information in case something happens to you. You make sure that someone knows your whereabouts. You make sure that someone knows the name of the person that you went to go meet and where y'all went, so that somebody knows that you're safe. You check in when you get home because you need to let somebody know that you're okay. We do all of this and still things happen. Right here in Michigan, in the city of Detroit, there was a woman who was shot and killed at a gathering after a funeral because she refused the advances of a man. He went out and got a gun and he shot her. And, of course, we would love to think that those things happen in a vacuum, but that's not always the case. Women are guarded. Sometimes women are afraid. Sometimes women are protective over their person. And so if it comes across as, standoffish or what have you, please know that that comes out of a place of experience where we feel vulnerable in our country, out in the society, out mingling and whatever with people, and we are protective over that. And so sometimes when you get pushback or you experience a certain attitude or phenomenon with someone, that is out of experience. And we have learned to protect ourselves the best way that we know how. So please understand that when you are encountering a woman, there's a way to ingratiate her, there's a way to entreat her. And even me doing these videos, I've had men that really come onto my videos and leave commentary that's just so inappropriate and just so short-sighted and so narrow-minded. And so yeah, y'all see them down there. Y'all see the comments. Some of y'all jump in on it. I mean, and I appreciate it. But truthfully, there are a lot of people who think very closed-minded and don't really have a good perspective of what is happening with women in this country. So again, I salute my women who attended the march. I wanted to talk about being angry and all of what that presents, and just being a woman in the state of affairs in this country in 2017. And hopefully we're working towards progression and change. I don't know. It's going to be really interesting these next 4 years. Anyway, that's my commentary. If you have a question or if you have some feedback, please leave it below. I'd like to hear your stories and how you feel about being an angry woman or what your experiences have been. I like to engage with you, so please leave your feedback below. Please be respectful. And dudes, if y'all on this video and you feel like you want to leave commentary that just don't make any sense, please don't do that. I generally don't erase comments, but I'm not here for it today. And yeah, I might respond and I might not. Your comment just may be gone, so please be aware of that. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll check y'all out later on. Bye.